everybody, so welcome to today's video. I am going to be taking the 60 personalities test again. I honestly don't know what my personality type is because it changes every year, but from reading the descriptions of the personality types, I feel like these two suit me the best, but I'm not really either one. I feel like I'm a mixture of both of them, but we'll see. Let's take this test. First question. You regularly make new friends. I disagree. You spend a lot of your free time exploring various random topics that pique your interest. Seeing other people cry can easily make you feel like you want to cry too. I think yes, I agree with this. It's either this one or this one, but I'll just say agree. You often make a backup plan for a backup plan. No. I am not one of those kinds of people. I wish I was, but I'm just not. You usually stay calm even under a lot of pressure. Yes. At social events, you rarely try to introduce yourself to new people and mostly talk to ones you already know. Yes. You prefer to completely finish one project before starting another. I think I would disagree a little bit with that. You're very sentimental. I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to disagree. One of these two. I'll just pick this one. Okay. You like to use organizing tools like schedules and lists. I do like lists. I like making lists. I don't like schedules though. That's a lie. I do have a planner and I write stuff down on my planner, like when things are due and stuff. I'll just say agree. Even a small mistake can cause you to doubt your overall abilities and knowledge. I think I'm gonna agree with that. You feel comfortable just walking up to someone you find interesting and striking up a conversation. Definitely not. I don't know how to answer this question. You're not too interested in discussing various interpretations and analyses of characters. I'll just say I agree. You're more inclined to follow your head than your heart. I don't know. Because sometimes I feel like I follow what I feel more than what I like. I don't know. One of these two. Yeah, I'm gonna have to disagree. Okay. Next. You usually prefer just doing what you feel like at any given moment instead of planning a particular daily routine. I do. I agree with this. I don't like planning out what I have to do in terms of have a daily routine and stuff. That's not something that I like. You rarely worry about whether you make a good impression on people you meet. I don't really care much about making a good impression. I'm just worried about meeting people. I'm worried more about the interaction, if that makes sense, than making a good impression on other people. I'll just say disagree. You enjoy participating in group activities. Oh, it depends on the group activities. Sometimes I'm all for it. I'd like for there to be a lot of people to do this stuff with, but then at the same time I do like doing stuff by myself. It just depends on the activity, what's more fun or what's more comfortable for me. I'm gonna click neutral on that one. You like books and movies that make you come up with your own interpretation of the ending. Oh, I think I'm gonna disagree. Your happiness comes more from helping others accomplish things than your own accomplishments. I do like helping others accomplish the stuff that they want to accomplish and stuff, but does that make me more happy than accomplishing my own stuff? I'm very inclined to click neutral, but I'm also I want to click on this one. I'm just gonna click this one. You're interested in so many things that you find it difficult to choose what to try next. I'll just say agree. But sometimes I can be decisive and choose which to try. But it says that you find it difficult to choose. I'll just say this one. Okay. You're prone to worrying that things will take a turn for the worse. No, I'm very much more on the optimistic side of the spectrum. You avoid leadership roles in group settings. I do avoid leadership roles in group settings, but when someone doesn't really step up to the plate, that's when I kind of come in and do some leadership stuff and kind of take over, but not really. I'm just gonna say agree. This one. Okay. You are definitely not an artistic type of person. I would disagree with this. I feel like I'm an artistic type of person. You think the world would be a better place if people relied more on rationality and less on their feelings. Ooh. Because I think it's just about balance. Like having rationality and feelings be balanced. I think that would be best. That would be ideal. But I think feelings are more higher up for me than rationality. You prefer to do your chores before allowing yourself to relax. Oh. I disagree. I would like to relax first. I'm the type of person that procrastinates by relaxing first and doing the stuff that I need to do. It's not good, but it's what I do, and it's worked for me somewhat. Look at me, just trying to justify my procrastination. You enjoy watching people argue? Definitely no. I hate people arguing. You tend to avoid drawing attention to yourself. Yes, I agree with that. Your mood can change very quickly. I think I would disagree. You lose patience with people who are not as efficient as you. I think I would disagree, but I'm also not the most patient person. I'm gonna choose this. You often end up doing things at the last possible moment. It depends. I'll just click agree. Okay. You always have been fascinated by the question of what, if anything, happens after death. Sure. Let's say agree. You usually prefer to be around others rather than on your own. Disagree. I like being on my own. You become bored or lose interest when the discussion gets highly theoretical. I think I would disagree a little bit. You find it easy to empathize with a person whose experiences are very different from yours. I find it easy. I would have to disagree, I think. You usually postpone finalizing decisions for as long as possible. I disagree. I don't really like postponing finalizing decisions for as long as possible. I'm the type that wants to decide on something as quick as possible because I'm so indecisive. I'd rather just get it done out of the way. You rarely second guess the choices you've made. I agree, I think. I don't really care that much. I would agree with the rarely part of it. After a long and exhausting week, a lively social event is just what you need. No, for me it's the complete opposite. I would like to just relax. You enjoy going to art museums. To be fair, I haven't really been to a lot of art museums or that many art museums yet, so I can't really answer this question. I'll just have to say disagree. You often have a hard time understanding other people's feelings. I'll just say agree. You like to have a to-do list for each day. I do. I love my to-do lists. You rarely feel insecure. I disagree with that. You avoid making phone calls. I do agree. You often spend a lot of time trying to understand views that are very different from your own. I would say disagree. I don't really spend a lot of time doing that. Okay, in your social circle, you're often the one who contacts your friends and initiates activities. Definitely no. If your plans are interrupted, your top priority is to get back on track as soon as possible. I'll just say agree. You're still bothered by mistakes that you made a long time ago. I would have to disagree. You rarely contemplate the reasons for human existence or the meaning of life. I agree. I don't really think about it. Your emotions control you more than you control them. I would disagree a little bit. You take great care not to make people look bad, even when it is completely their fault. I think I would disagree because it says you take great care, and that I don't agree with. Your personal work style is closer to spontaneous bursts of energy than organized and consistent efforts. I think I would have to agree with that, I think. When someone thinks highly of you, you wonder how long it will take them to feel disappointed in you. This gives me imposter syndrome vibes. I disagree. I don't think I think about it. You would love a job that requires you to work alone most of the time. I think it depends on the job, too. I think I'll agree a little bit. You believe that pondering abstract philosophical questions is a waste of time. I don't think it's a waste of time, though. But pondering, I'll just say agree. You feel more drawn to places with busy, bustling atmospheres than quiet, intimate places. I do like my quiet, intimate places, but at the same time, from living in the city for most of my life, I find the busy, bustling atmospheres to be comforting somewhat. I will disagree a little bit. You know at first glance how someone is feeling. I don't. I wish I do, but I don't. You often feel overwhelmed. I don't know if I agree or disagree with that. I'll disagree a little bit. You complete things methodically without skipping over any steps. I think I disagree with this. You are very intrigued by things labeled as controversial. I think I disagree with that. You would pass along a good opportunity if you thought someone else needed it more. My initial reaction is disagree, but it depends on the situation though. Like how do they need it? Like what's the need? I think I'll disagree. Okay, you struggle with deadlines. I kind of do, but don't. Because I still meet the deadline, but it does stress me out and stuff. I'll say disagree. You feel confident that things will work out for you. I don't feel confident, but I have hope, and I have so much faith in that hope. I'll say agree a little bit. Oh, we finished! Alright, let's see the results. Whoa! Okay, interesting. Alright, let's read the results. For mind, this trait determines how we interact with our environment. So I am 93% introverted. Next is energy. This trait shows where we direct our mental energy. So I am 77% observant. Nature. This trait determines how we make decisions and cope with emotions. I am 58% thinking. This is so interesting because I feel like this is where I can switch between the virtuoso and the explorer. I mean, not explorer, adventurer personality type. This is where it makes a difference. Tactics. This trait reflects our approach to work, planning, and decision making. I'm 56% prospecting. And the identity. This trait underpins all others, showing how confident we are in our abilities and decisions. So I'm 71% assertive. Virtuosos' decisions stem from a sense of practical realism, and at their heart is a strong sense of direct fairness, a do unto others attitude. I agree with that. The biggest issue virtuosos are likely to face is that they often act too soon, taking for granted their permissive nature and assuming that others are the same. Virtuosos have a particular difficulty in predicting emotions. I agree. But this is just a natural extension of their fairness, given how difficult it is to gauge virtuosos' emotions and motivations. Okay. So strengths. Optimistic and energetic. Virtuosos are usually up to their elbows in some project or other. Cheerful and good-natured. People with a virtual personality type, especially assertive ones, like me, rarely get stressed out, preferring to go with the flow. Oh, this is 100% me. This is something that puzzles my sisters, because they're like, how are you so calm even when you're so stressed? Especially my younger sister. There was this situation back in my senior year. I think it was either my senior year or my junior year, and I was just I had a lot of stuff piled up, and I'm was so stressed and trying to get these things done for classes and stuff. And my younger sister, she was so anxious for me. She was so worried for me, and she was freaking out and stuff, and I'm just there cool, calm, collected, trying to get my stuff done, while inside I'm super stressed, but I'm calm, and that just baffles my sister. Okay, next, creative and practical. Virtuosos are highly imaginative when it comes to practical things, mechanics, and crafts. Novel ideas come easily, and they love using their hands to put them into action. Oh, that's very interesting. I do like crafting, making stuff with my hands. I feel that's super fun. Spontaneous and rational. Combining spontaneity with logic, virtuosos can switch mindsets to fit new situations with little effort, making them flexible and versatile individuals. Know how to prioritize. Yes, this is me. This is why I'm kind of calm, even though I'm super stressed, because I feel I know what to prioritize and what stuff I should do first. This flexibility comes with some unpredictability. It does. But virtuoso personalities are able to store their spontaneity for a rainy day, releasing their energy just when it's needed most. Great in a crisis. With all this hands-on creativity and spontaneity, it's no wonder that virtuosos are naturals in crisis situations. People with this personality type usually enjoy a little physical risk, and they aren't afraid to get their hands dirty when the situation calls for it. I don't know how much I agree with this one. Next is relaxed. Through all this, virtuosos are able to stay quite relaxed. I agree. They live in the moment and go with the flow, refusing to worry too much about the future. 100% agree with this sentence. Alright, let's find out my weaknesses. First one is stubborn. As easily as virtuosos go with the flow, they can also ignore it entirely and usually move in another direction with little apology or sensitivity. If someone tries to change virtuosos' habits, lifestyle, or ideas through criticism, they can become quite blunt in their irritation. Okay, I understand. Next is insensitive. I don't know how I'm gonna be agreeing with this one because I don't think I'm an insensitive person, nor do I think I'm insensitive often. I don't know. Virtuosos use logic, and even when they try to meet others halfway with empathy and emotional sensitivity, it rarely seems to quite come out right, if anything is even said at all. Ah, I see. Okay, from that, I will agree with this. Private and reserved. Virtuoso personalities are notoriously difficult to get to know. I am so sorry, I'm trying. They are true introverts, keeping their personal matters to themselves and often just prefer silence to small talk. I mean, I guess it can get quite awkward with small talk. That's why I would prefer silence, but at the same time, it's also kind of awkward just being silent, but it's less awkward. I don't know. Anyway, easily bored. Virtuosos enjoy novelty, which makes them excellent tinkerers, but much less reliable when it comes to focusing on things long term. Ooh, okay. I agree with this, as much as I don't like it. This is me. Once something is understood, virtuosos tend to simply move on to something new and more interesting. I agree with this. This is one of the things I kind of don't like about myself, but yeah. Dislike commitment. Ooh, calling me out and stuff. Long-term commitments are particularly onerous for virtuosos. What's onerous? Onerous. Of a task, duty, or responsibility involving an amount of effort and difficulty that is oppressively burdensome. Ah, okay. Long-term commitments are particularly onerous for virtuosos. Okay, I agree. This is again something that I don't really like about myself, but okay, kind of makes sense now, I guess. They prefer to take things day by day. I do. And the feeling of being locked into something for a long time is downright oppressive. It can. And I don't like that feeling. This can be a particular challenge in virtuosos' romantic relationships. I haven't had a relationship yet, so we'll see, I guess. Lastly is risky behavior. This stubbornness, difficulty with others' emotions, focus on the moment, and easy boredom can lead to unnecessary and unhelpful boundary pushing just for fun. Virtuosos have been known to escalate conflict and danger just to see where it goes, something that can have disastrous consequences for everyone around if they lose control of the situation. I don't agree with this. I don't think this is me, because I don't try to escalate the conflict, because I hate conflict. And especially just to see where it goes, that's no. So this is the only thing I guess that I don't agree with in terms of weaknesses, because this is just not me. When it comes to romantic relationships with virtuosos, it's a bit like nailing jello to a tree. If a potential partner doesn't measure up, virtuosos have no real problem walking away. Virtuosos also need a great deal of personal space, both physically and mentally, and any attempts to control them or forcibly schedule their activities only accelerates their departure. I would agree with this last sentence. Virtuoso personalities are hardly strict or traditional when it comes to dating, and often try to introduce sex into their activities early on. Sensual individuals that they are, virtuosos make ready use of all their senses, viewing intimacy as an art, a performance, and a source of pleasure. This does make sense to me, except for the whole often try to introduce sex into their activities early on. I wouldn't know. I don't know if that would apply to me. As their relationships progress, virtuosos' partners tend to find that intimacy is about the closest they get to open emotional expression. Oh, okay. It's not that virtuosos don't have feelings. They actually run quite deep and strong, just that they conceal and protect them because they are unsure how to deal with them and express them. Okay, yeah, I agree with that. This applies in a broader sense in virtuosos' relationships as well. Any attempts to push understood arrangements, even the relationship themselves, into open discussion in order to secure commitment, especially early on, are often met by virtuosos with something close to panic. I can see that. Nothing is so acutely terrifying to virtuosos as knowing that there's no way out. Yes, if virtuosos are to be lifelong partners, it must happen as a natural progression of these day-to-day decisions on their own time. I agree with this sentence. It's just how their minds work. People with this personality type live in the present, in a world of physical activities that engage the senses, and they just need to know that they have the freedom to be passionate about something one day and indifferent the next, without being grilled on when they're going to finish something or why they've suddenly changed their minds. Yes, I agree with this paragraph. It's getting beneath the surface to become virtuosos' true friends that is the real challenge, leaving them with a lot of goodwill and friendly faces to call on, but only a few people who they feel truly understand them. I agree with this so much. It's like, this is so true for me. Like, I have a lot of like friends or like acquaintances like I can like chat and talk to and like interact with and stuff, but there's like very, very few people that I think like truly understand me. This is just, I 100% agree with this paragraph. If friends don't want to do what the virtuosos are doing, then they're free to go do their own thing. Yes, and they'll hang out some other time. I agree. Sometimes their shifts in attitude can catch their friends flat-footed, but virtuosos' motto remains everything can be changed. Forcing them to constantly commit to scheduled activities is probably the quickest way to end these friendships. I see. I can understand this, and I can agree with this. It's the constantly committing to scheduled activities. I feel like they've like touched on this before, where the feeling of like oppression or like feeling like there's no freedom, like this is like this kind of touches on that, where I don't have this freedom when I'm being forced to constantly commit to scheduled stuff. Like, I want the freedom to be able to do my own thing, if that makes sense. People with this personality type are talented when it comes to using their senses and usually enjoy a little competition. This makes virtuosos' hobbies, especially the more physical activities like fishing and crafts, especially enjoyable with little company, and they are usually the basis for their friendships. Ooh, I can kind of see this and agree with this. That'd be so fun! Virtuoso personalities are also thoughtful, rational people. Being fairly creative individuals themselves, they often enjoy discussing new ideas, but in the end, the point of sharing those ideas needs to be to take action. Dreaming is well and good, but talk is cheap. This sentence right here, I 100% agree. Talk is cheap. No other type is quite as fascinated by how things work, how tools can be used, and how facts can be put together to create immediate and satisfying results. I kind of don't agree with this. I don't know, I'm not really that fascinated by how things work and how tools can be used. I don't really agree with that. Abstract theory and purely academic work that will never see the light of real use hold little interest for virtuosos. I can agree with this. Jobs that focus on crisis response, such as firefighters, paramedics, detectives, pilots, and police officers, seem made for virtuosos. Oh, okay. Maybe not for me. I would try to stay away from that kind of stuff, because that's just like stressing me out right now. Perhaps most important to virtuosos, though, is the feeling that they aren't stuck. Yes, the freedom to wander, freedom to declare their own schedules, their own responsibilities, their own environments. Nearly every other consideration pales by comparison to the need to avoid inflexible commitments and stodgy colleagues. I agree. Yet, virtuosos can be easily tripped up in areas where their focus on practical matters is more of a liability than an asset. Whether it is finding or keeping a partner, reaching dazzling heights on the career ladder, or learning to plan ahead, virtuosos need to put in a conscious effort to develop their weaker traits and additional skills. Yes, I can understand and agree with this. Definitely need to put in a conscious effort. So this is me again, in case you were wondering. My type is assertive virtuoso, or ISTP. Role is explorer, strategy is confident individualism. These are my percentages. Ooh, there's arrows. Oh, let's read this. Introverted individuals prefer solitary activities and get exhausted by social interaction. They tend to be quite sensitive to external stimulation, e.g. sound, sights, or smell in general. You're mostly observant. Observant individuals are highly practical, pragmatic, and down-to-earth. They tend to have strong habits and focus on what is happening or has already happened. Thinking individuals focus on objectivity and rationality, prioritizing logic over emotions. They tend to hide their feelings and see efficiency as more important than cooperation. Oh. I I agree with the tending to hide their feelings, but I don't agree with seeing efficiency as more important than cooperation. Because I think cooperation is more important than efficiency. But then I also understand that efficiency is important, but I don't know. Anyway, assertive individuals are self-assured, even-tempered, and resistant to stress. They refuse to worry too much and do not push themselves too hard when it comes to achieving goals. Yes, this is so me. So yeah, that is it for today's video. That is so interesting that I got this personality type. So maybe this is my actual personality type. I don't know. Let's see next year, I guess. Thank you so much for watching. Give this video a like if you liked it. Comment down below anything that you want to comment, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!